Good afternoon, distinguished members of the General Assembly. Virginia is facing a budget crisis, but people with mental retardation and their families are living with crisis across Virginia every day. Providing more funding for Medicaid waiver slots for these individuals would eliminate this crisis.
Jerry needs a home. Jerry needs a safe place to live. Jerry's family, all of whom are from Virginia and live throughout Virginia, need to have peace of mind and know that Jerry's going to be taken care of.
My friends from school, like Richard, Brittany, Janelle, Jamal, and Ronnie, don't have the MR waiver. They don't have anywhere else to go. They might be really bored. We learned so much in school, and now they are just sitting around. That is a waste.
At the end of November 2007, there were almost 4,000 mentally retarded people on the Medicaid waiver waiting list. Of that 4,000, or almost 4,000, 1,864 of them are urgent cases.
Caring for a loved one with special needs is very difficult, exhausting, and doesn't end. However, we who are caregivers want to continue to care for our loved ones at home as long as we can, but the financial challenges are overwhelming. The waiver is the most important means to allow people with special needs to continue to live at home and be cared for by their loved ones.
We can keep our children at home as long as we can, and we can support them as their parents, or we can institutionalize them. Institutionalizing our children is a lose-lose proposition for the state and for us and for our children.
And I really like my job. Before that, I lived at home with my mom, who is a teacher. I was alone in the house a lot, and my mom had to take me everywhere.
My family is actually one of the lucky ones because we do have waiver services, unlike the over 3,700 people currently on Virginia's waiting list. We are one of the lucky ones because Jenna has access to health insurance through the waiver program, unlike the 1,600 people on the urgent waiting list.
Danielle's turning 21 this year. There will be no college in her future. When the school year ends for her next year, her life will come to a halt. The job she has been training for the past 8 years will not ever happen because there is no funding to support the one-on-one job coach she needs to perform that job.
I got lots of different job training, and I have a job that pays money. So I paid taxes and contribute to society.
He wants a job.
One day, I'm going to be called from this place and go to my heavenly home. And when I do, I want to make sure that Eric continues to have the quality of life that he deserves.
And you're on the urgent care waiting list. And somehow urgent and wait doesn't even seem to go together. But you're there. And you worry, who's going to take care of that son or daughter when you're gone? So you find yourself praying a prayer that is so unnatural. Dear Lord, please let me live longer than my son or daughter. No parent ever wants to pray that prayer.
I don't know what your personal situations are, but you're hearing personal stories from all these folks. It's very important to us. Very important. It was easy for you to come here today. It was very difficult for most of us to get here. Obviously, this is a very, very important issue to us. And we pray that you will see it the same way. Thank you.
I ask you, ladies and gentlemen of the General Assembly, will you give Virginians the new type of leadership? Will you stop looking at typical topics as burdens and start looking at them as your responsibility to help Virginians succeed?
I beg you, please fully fund the Medicaid waivers. It's not only the right thing to do, it's the fiscally prudent thing to do. If you won't fully fund the waivers at this point, or if you can't, fund 750 of them a year. Funding 750 a year will take 5 years to clear the urgent list alone.
I realize that there are limits to the relief a commonwealth can be reasonably expected to provide. However, there are certain honorable things that one does in life, not because they're easy or simple, but rather because not to do them is to perpetrate injustice and wrong. One does them for no other reason than that doing them is the right thing to do, even at considerable inconvenience and cost. In that spirit, a spirit of justice and compassion, I appeal to you as a fellow citizen of this Commonwealth to do what in your heart you know is right. Fully fund the needed Medicaid waivers so that the most vulnerable among us can enjoy a life like you have. Fully fund the needed Medicaid waivers so that all our citizens can participate as fully as possible in the quality of life that all Virginians deserve and expect. My family and thousands of families like us are depending on you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.